Did you know that there are 4.5 million Americans that are Muslims? And today, I'll be asking Muslim Americans of who are they voting for, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris.
The most wonderful thing is happening. We're winning overwhelming support from the Muslim and Arab voters right here in Michigan. Can you believe it?
So in this documentary, I'll be finding out what are their values, what do they care about, and what concerns them the most as a Muslim American living in the United States.
But who do you prefer?
Between the two,
Yeah, Trump or Kamala?
I think I would say Trump.
And what's the reason?
I think I've heard a lot of positive things that Trump said about the taxes and all that.
They're going to not charge taxes on tips. And the no taxes on overtime.
So he's really looking out for the country. He may not be a good person, but I mean, he's looking out for the country more than Kamala. Well,
Yeah.
that's what I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
Voting for none, independent party. That's basically what I decided to do.
How did you come up with that conclusion?
I don't really see anything good about Trump or Kamala Harris. Both. They're not candidates that I think they're genuine. So I decided to go the other way.
How long have you been living in America?
40 years.
40 years.
Yeah.
Did you vote before?
Yeah.
Who did you vote for before?
Most of the time, Republicans.
Really?
Yeah.
What made you decide that you're not gonna vote for anyone this year, but independent?
Outside politics of the country, mainly because it's not serving or helping the Muslim cause whatsoever. And I don't buy their claims that we're going to make a difference. They're all the same. So that was my decision based on that.
Trump says that he's gonna stop the war in...
Maybe he can, but he's not going to be able to fight the AIPAC Jewish lobby. He won't be able to do it, no matter what he tries. They're in control.
What other policies do you like, for instance?
Honestly, I'm not too knowledgeable, like I said.
Oh, you don't know?
Judging
Okay.
from what he said, though,
Yeah.
I think that's even a better reason, maybe. He's at least going to try to end the war, right? So I think maybe that'll be a plus, more incentive to actually vote for him.
Do you think, in general, Muslims are more leaning towards Trump or Kamala?
That I don't know.
The way I see things right now, they're basically leaning more towards Trump based on some of the brothers.
Really?
But again, I don't have high hopes. He may end the war, which is nice, but at the same time, it may not benefit the Muslim world or the Muslim cause out there, or the injustices that taking place. I think that's gonna still remain, okay? Because we basically, the Muslim leaders all over, they don't have a say. They don't even respect them. So what's the point? That's a sad thing to think about, that none of our Muslim leader is being respected by the European Union or the USA. For this year, I'll do independent, hoping for the best later.
What's the Muslim cause?
Muslim cause meaning having the Muslim all over living in peace, okay? Again, giving them their due rights. Basically, they are really fighting to gain their freedom, their rights, and it's all taken by dictatorships all over the place. The issue with Palestine, and basically the Palestinians been robbed, taken their land, and then they turned the situation, said they claim that the Palestinians are terrorists and the other ones are not, okay? So, if you look at all these things, there is a cause to rise and to fight for their freedom. None of their leaders representing true Islam anyways, and they're all basically following the wishes of the West and the US. So we are under the mercy of one of those European leaders or one of those leaders that they come through the USA to have mercy on us and to give us a chance to breathe. And that is not what our Prophet ﷺ have taught us, okay? Once you sell your morals, your dignity, your values to others, they are in control and you're not.
Trump or Kamala?
I think they're both bad, but if I really had to choose, I'd go with Trump because Kamala as vice president didn't really do anything throughout her 4 years, and I feel like she won't do anything as president either. So I go with Trump. But then again, I think they're both bad because they both support stuff that I don't really support. They're both supporting Israel, and I don't feel like they should be doing that. And yeah, that's about it.
What made you think that he knows what he's talking about?
Because he was president already, and stuff was a bit cheaper. Inflation was more down, and yeah.
You don't like inflation?
Obviously not.
Like many other Americans, Muslim Muslim Americans are also concerned about the economy and inflation. Look at this. I literally have $28 left in my bank account because I didn't know about American Hartford Gold before. One way to combat inflation is by investing in gold. And American Hartford Gold is one of the top American companies for buying gold. There are a lot of reasons that I personally think that you should be buying gold from American Hartford Gold. For one, they offer IRA approved precious metals. They have very high ratings from trusted industry sources. Well, they have competitive price, and not only that, they have free storage and delivery services. And if you're a new buyer, they even have education and support system. Here's the deal, guys. The gold and silver doesn't fall out of the coconut trees. Many economists predict that gold will reach its all-time high. So all you have to do to not worry about inflation is text Dohaa to 65532. Call 866-643-9432 or click the link in the description. Because they're literally offering $15,000 in free silver or gold on your first qualifying order. So make sure you guys buy some gold from American Hartford Gold and have a better life. Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
I guess Trump.
And what is the reason for that?
I sometimes watch him. I think he's pretty chill, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you like about him?
I'm not into really politics or anything, so I don't know too much. But if I was to pick between Kamala or Trump, I'd say Trump. But I hope whoever becomes the president, they do good for the community.
Are you worried about the economy and inflation?
Yeah.
One of the ways that you can combat inflation is by buying gold.
Gold?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Do you know American Hartford Gold?
Not really.
Yeah, that is like one of the top American companies to buy gold from.
Oh, it seems pretty exciting. I'll check them out.
Who do you like better?
I don't discuss political issues.
But it was like Muslim community, who they want to vote for.
The issue is this is not often discussed at the masjid, so you don't know who the people want, what their choice is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is often the issue.
Yeah.
Because at the masjid, we don't like bringing political issues.
Yeah.
So that people don't think that we are actually pushing for a particular candidate.
Yeah.
So I think it's a matter of people have their rights and they make choice on who to vote for.
Yeah.
So that's just. I prefer Democrats, but I don't know what other people may choose as their choice.
Yeah.
So.
Are you gonna like vote for Democrats like Kamala Harris this time?
Okay, it's still my mind.
Okay.
So who are you guys voting for?
We are voting for Donald Trump.
I vote for the Trump.
Trump?
Trump, yeah,
What about you?
Republican Party.
Now I'm just gonna say one thing, bro. Free Imran Khan. You know who Imran Khan is?
Yeah.
Free Imran Khan from Pakistan. Straight. Probably Donald Trump. Yeah.
Why Trump?
Because everything is going high prices, everything. That's why.
What about you?
Yeah, Trump is going there looking for the good for the
Yeah.
people who wants to give their rights, democratic. That's it.
As he said.
Is this the first time you're gonna vote?
This is the
First time.
Yeah.
It's the first time.
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Got it. Who are you gonna be voting for this year?
So I don't talk about exactly who I vote for, but I do agree that voting is something very important for not just Muslim Americans, but Americans in general to do.
Who Muslims are voting for?
I'm seeing a lot of movement in Muslim circles, especially from a lot of community organizing groups that are speaking to Muslims and talking about supporting groups such as the Green Party, where we have Jill Stein and Butch Ware who are running, and also the president campaign, Cornel West, who are taking a stance of making sure that American tax dollars are being spent to support Americans.
I mean, Trump says that he's gonna end the war.
Right. I haven't heard too much about Muslims in mass supporting either of the two main candidates. I've seen a big pull away from both Republican and Democratic Party support, which I think is very interesting for this particular election.
But to the like polls that are happening right now, those are the two candidates and one of them is gonna win.
Right.
So don't you think that is the waste of all of the Muslim American votes?
I don't think so, because I think that using your vote still an ability to make a stance and show people of how you're voting. Maybe necessarily you may not win in this election, but if you have a large 30% discrepancy in votes, still shows that, hey, these people are feeling a certain way and they might equal to something else.
What are like three of the most important issues for you as a Muslim American?
First, one thing on the minds of all Americans today is the genocide that's taking place. Second, I would definitely say is economic responsibility, making sure that tax dollars that are being collected from Americans are being spent to ways that are actually benefiting Americans. And I think the last thing that a lot of people are focused on is, I think they're the two main issues I can think about right now.
Is there anything else you're concerned about or no?
Generally myself, I do think there's a lot of things that are going on, and this is a big stress that we should have with voters, is that be more focused on the bottom part of the ballot, that we have a lot of local initiatives that are taking place here. So we can talk about specific propositions that are working to grow our healthcare competency here locally in the state, to make sure that we're supporting people, make sure that certain large organizations are not misusing their ability and their structure within the US as far as healthcare and housing, that we've seen is something very important that's taking place.
Okay. अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम सलाम।
आप किसको वोट कर रहे हैं?
यहाँ इंडिपेंडेंट को सोचा है आज।
ट्रम्प और कमाला में से किसी को नहीं कर रहे?
किसी को नहीं।
क्यों?
बस दोनों बेकार ही है हमारे लिए, मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी के लिए सही नहीं है दोनों।
आप कितने साल से अमेरिका में रह रहे हो?
28
28 years।
28 years।
तो आप पहले किसी को वोट किया था?
पहले हमेशा करते थे, डेमोक्रेटिक को, लेकिन नो मोर डेमोक्रेटिक इस वक्त नहीं।
क्यों?
नो इंडिपेंडेंस।
उसका मेन रीजन क्या है?
इसका मेन रीजन यही कह रहे हैं कि हमारे मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी अगर इनको नहीं दे, पहले इन्हीं को मिलते थे वोट, तो इनका वोट बैंक कम होगा। नो डाउट हमारे इंडिपेंडेंस जीतेंगे तो नहीं, लेकिन ये होगा इनका वोट बैंक कम होगा, तो शायद इनको कुछ हो कि हमारे वो करना है।
तो आप किस चीज से मायूस हो?
रीजन यही है कि हमारे मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी के लिए सही नहीं है दोनों, जो इस वक्त हालात चल रहे हैं, इस वजह से
फलस्तीन और
फलस्तीन और इसराइल की वजह से। और अमेरिका इसके लिए सबसे बड़ा वो है, इकोनॉमिक में हर चीज से वो इनको वो दे रहा है, डोनेशन और जो की माली इमदाद दे रहा है। इज नॉट गुड। हमारा पैसा वहाँ लग रहा है, इज नॉट गुड। ये उसका कोई ताल्लुक ही नहीं, क्यों ये वॉर में जा रहा है, हमारे पैसे वहाँ यूज कर रहे हैं।
आप चाहते हो कि आपका पैसा जो है वो यहीं पर लगे?
यहीं पे लगे, यहाँ के लिए,
होमलेस लोगों में।
यहाँ पे लगे।
अच्छा। How long have you been living here?
It's 19.
You're an American citizen, right?
Yeah.
Are you gonna vote?
This time, no.
No?
Because we like democratic, but now they support that. I am from Sudan.
Yeah.
So the Emirates, the United Emirates,
Yeah.
they get support from Biden.
Yeah.
So he's gonna put money for them to re-elect Harris.
Yeah.
And then they don't punish Emirates because they send weapons to kill people in my country.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I don't like it. Even now the Democrats now good.
Yeah.
Trump is, I wish he will not come back. Donald Trump, he's the worst.
Oh, he's the worst?
Yeah, but Harris, I told you, I like to vote for the Democratic all the time. Obama twice, then Hillary Clinton, then Biden 4 times. No more.
I see.
Yeah.
So what's the solution?
How about you?
I don't know either. I don't know who I should vote for.
All the time for us because the Republican, they came against people in the Middle East, wherever. They like war. You know, George Bush, he's crazy. He's that. But the Democratic, even for us as a Muslim, we don't like the way they handle like gays and this is not good. But still, they are good. For the country here where we live now,
Yeah.
it's better than the Republican. For me.
Really?
Yeah, Republican all the time, I told you, they go for war. The Middle East, Iraq, Afghanistan.
Will be a broad and concerted campaign. More than 35 countries are giving crucial support, from the use of naval and air bases to help with intelligence and logistics to the deployment of combat units. To all the men and women of the United States Armed Forces now in the Middle East.
Every war is Republican.
Trump says that he's gonna stop all the wars.
I will prevent World War III.
No, he's lying. He's lying. Even if he come and get elected, he gonna be more dictator. He think 4 years is not enough. Gonna be like Saudi or forever, you know.
Are you gonna vote?
Yeah.
Who are you gonna vote for?
I'm gonna vote for the Kamala Harris because of you know, the Arab situation in the Middle East. There has some problems going on, and the Trump, the Republican, they are always trying to fight with the Muslim people. That's why personally, in my point of view, I want to go to the Kamala Harris, the Kamala Harris.
But don't you think Kamala Harris is the vice president right now?
Yeah, she's the vice president, but if she she would be the president, maybe she can do something for us. I believe.
Okay.
It depends on her, but
Yeah.
I believe she can do for us, the Muslim people, Muslim community.
Did you already vote or you're gonna vote?
I'm gonna vote.
5th. Oh, November 5th. And
Yeah.
what about your family?
Everyone, inshallah.
Everyone Kamala Harris. What about you?
I don't know. I'm voter no.
You have no idea?
No.
Are you American citizen?
Nah, voter nahi. I coming there 2 years.
Oh, 2 years. You
Yeah.
cannot vote right now.
No.
But who do you
Yeah.
like better?
Like Kamala Harris. Right?
Kamala Harris?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
You speak Hindi?
Hindi no.
No Hindi.
Bangla.
Bangla?
Yes.
You Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
Donald Trump, no good.
No good.
No.
Why? What do you think about Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
আপনি কি চিন্তা করতেছেন হলো কামালা হ্যারিসের ব্যাপারে?
Kamala Harris win.
What's the reason?
কারণটা কি?
Karan, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
All people said.
Okay. Appreciate you guys.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Who is better for Muslim?
Yeah, to be the president of the United States.
Oh, yeah.
Do you speak Arabic?
No.
What do you guys speak?
Speak Farsi.
Farsi.
Yes, I'm from Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
Yes. Kamala Harris.
Are you guys gonna vote?
No, we cannot vote.
Oh, you can't vote. Why do you think Kamala Harris?
We did not decide it yet, but I guess she is good for it. Country.
Okay, got it.
Originally, my parents are from Afghanistan.
I'm from Palestine.
So for me personally, this year I'm going to abstain because, you know, both political parties are very pro-Israel and they've been pro-genocide as well. It's not so much about like their other policies, but right now there's just the worst humanitarian crisis being inflicted on our brothers and sisters in Palestine, and the current administration is not doing anything to help bring relief to them. So I'm going to do like a protest non-vote. Yeah.
What about you?
I cannot vote, but if I can, I would just go for whatever the Sheikh said.
So you wouldn't vote either way?
I wouldn't vote. Yeah, in my opinion, there is no qualified person to be president for any country, not just for the States.
For me, ideally, like, when it comes to third-party candidates, Dr. Cornel West is a person who I value his opinion a lot. But unfortunately, kind of our country is like a duopoly where there's two major political parties who have hijacked kind of like the democracy from the country. In fact, even Kamala Harris, there was no primary for her. She just kind of got appointed as if we don't live in a democracy. So that's a little bit strange. But unfortunately, if there was a platform given to people like Dr. Cornel West, I would have supported him.
Is he a Democratic candidate?
Yeah, he's a Democratic candidate. I think he might be independent, but if you look at his views, they don't really align with like the foreign policy platform of both the Republicans and the Democrats.
Trump says in a lot of his rallies that he's going to end the war.
Yeah, we don't know, but he's also had a lot of expressions about just having this type of relentless love for Israel and support for Israel. So it could just be him playing politics and just saying what the people want to hear. I will say though, because to any Muslim who out there who's considering Kamala Harris, the whole lesser of the two evils argument, I would say this: 40,000 Palestinians survived 4 years of Trump, but they didn't survive 4 years of Kamala Harris as vice president. So that's something that I feel like I hope the Muslims can kind of take into consideration and not get deceived by like kind of like the optics of it, of having a first female black president.
So don't you think, to what you just said, that Donald Trump could be better off for Muslims?
I don't know, because at the same time when Donald Trump first came into office, he had the 90-day ban from Muslim majority countries, and also he did things like move the capital of Israel to Jerusalem, and the embassy.
It is time to officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel.
So I don't know. They even Netanyahu even created a settlement and named it after Donald Trump. So there's also that kind of evidence of him kind of where his political policies might stand. But yeah, the one thing I will say though is that Donald Trump is just two things about him. Number one, I think he tends to be an independent thinker in some cases, whereas the Democrats seem to be complete and utter pushovers. And then he does have a little bit of an ego, and most 90% of the time that could be problematic. But maybe that could be something positive in that he could not just be a slave to the AIPAC and the Israeli lobby.
What about you? You're from Palestine, right?
Jaffa, which is now called Tel Aviv.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was really upset when Trump agreed for moving the embassy to Jerusalem, which makes it the capital of Israel.
What a glorious day.
On behalf of the 45th President of the United States of America, we welcome you officially and for the first time to the Embassy of the United States here in Jerusalem, the capital of Israel.
He also declared that we would soon move our embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, and just 5 months later, we are standing on these grounds.
To be honest, I think Trump is worse in terms of, if we're talking about the conflict, but he's better for the Americans. That's my opinion. But for the Muslims, they're both worse than each other. You have to pick one of them, or none, which means one of them is going to win anyway. Do we have another option?
The other option would be to vote for third party, like Jill Stein or Cornel West. I don't know if it's going to be on the. Yeah, you're right. But the one thing that it will do is it'll send a message to the Democratic Party that if the Democrats lose, that in the future, if you want to win an election and take the Muslim vote, the Muslims are a sizable enough constituency that can affect an election. And so going forward, they're going to have to kind of cater to the Muslims' needs and requests.
For this time.
Yeah, it's playing long-term politics. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Otherwise, look at it this way: if the Muslims vote Democrat right now, it means that Muslims are so unprincipled that even if Kamala Harris has done a genocide for a whole year and continues to send bombs so it can fall on the Palestinians, the Muslims will still cast a vote for you. I don't understand that type of logic, I don't know how I can answer to Allah on the day of judgment about that. Yeah, there's 40,000 people being killed. There's student protests all over the country, from Northeast as Columbia University to Southwest as UCLA, who are begging the administration, please, we voted for you, please stop the war, call for a ceasefire, send humanitarian aid, and they're just going to completely ignore them and just send more bombs to Netanyahu. And if any Muslims are considering to still vote for that person, I just don't understand the logic. So that's why for me, my position is to have a protest non-vote.
I agree.
How do you feel as a Palestinian? Because now you live in the US, you pay the tax, and your tax dollars is used to...
Actually, I had, there was some sheikh coming from Egypt the other day, and I asked him, should I pay the tax knowing that my tax money is going to go to Israel? He said, you live here. As a Muslim, you have to follow the law. Doesn't matter what is coming next. next. And if you have income, you have to pay tax, do your job, and then leave everything to Allah. And I think that's true.
You guys have any last message?
I would just make a lot of dua for the ummah, send sadaqah, and just I pay a lot of respect to the Muslim institutions. I care, see what they have to say as well, and may Allah bless us all.
Okay, so that was the documentary. I hope you guys have a good understanding of what Muslims think and who are they going to be voting for. I'm making a similar version with Jewish American of what they think and who are they going to vote for in these elections.
Jewish people, who are they voting for the presidential elections?
I also want to thank American Hartford Gold for sponsoring my first ever video. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for support, and I will see you guys next time.